second doses of vaccination are done, I think.
It's going as it is. So.
Yeah. Okay, so you are getting all Russian vaccines or any other vaccines as well?
I don't really know what's going on in Russia. I believe only Russian vaccines are there because I'm not based in Russia. But yeah, so I'm not quite familiar with the situation in Russia at the moment.
I see, yeah. But at least things are in control, as I see. Yeah.
I believe so, yeah. And how are the things in Istanbul? What's the weather? Is it sunny today?
Better compared to old days, but we have still some time to recover all of these new cases, new issues. So vaccination are going on.
Have you enjoyed the rest of the conference? I mean, the talks. I believe the talks in English just today, but I'm not sure that you participated in Russian talks.
For the morning session, we didn't have time, but maybe we'll check for the afternoon sessions.
Yeah.
Cool, yeah. There are a lot of great speaking sessions.
Yeah, and yesterday it was our public holiday, so we couldn't join the conference yet.
Got it.
This is our Republic holiday, the ceremony of Turkish Republic.
Got it. Interesting. You have a lot of public holidays in Turkey during the year.
Yes. Maybe you are already familiar with Ramadan or other festivals. Yep. Yeah, some kind of bayrams. We have much of them.
Nice.
And for your side, is it the same?
I'm currently based in Ireland. There are not many public holidays, like 9 days per year. So it's the lowest size of the public holidays in Europe. Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately.
Unfortunately. But yeah, in Russia, there are a lot of public holidays. Like even New Year holidays, like about 2 weeks for people to rest.
I
so
get
it's
that.
nice in Russia.
Yeah, similar in Turkey. Approximately maybe a total of 1 month takes with public holidays, so it's a good duration.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we know the recording will be done during the conference, right?
So yeah, at the moment they're recording us. I believe they will cut this part of our discussion, but yeah.
Yeah.
So I think we can start. So I share it. The permission with you so you can share your screen. I'm not sure that we can see the audience at the moment.
Actually, I asked and they said they can see my screen right now.
Cool, so let me just quickly introduce you guys for the audience. Всем доброе утро, меня зовут Алексей. Сегодня я буду представлять онлайн-докладчиков и помогать с переводом вопросов, если потребуется. Прямые выступят Толга Актус и Гая Саглам. Докладчики транслируют нам из солнечной Турции. Ребята расскажут про подход к управлению тестированием, применяемый в компании Siemens. So, guys, I think you can start.
Okay, thank you very much, Alexei. Hello, dear participants. We are really glad to meet with all people and all experts in this brilliant organization. We are really familiar with SQA organization and we always wanted to join as participant and as speaker as well. So finally we are here. So we are really glad to be here. We are joining from Siemens Turkey R&D Center, which is also known as Advanta Development Turkey as naming. So please feel free to reach us from our contact information in case of any questions and comments. And also, please feel free to ask your questions at the end of this presentation. I guess Alexei will guide us for the Q&A session. So our presentation will be about a process improvements initiative in quality assurance domain. And we hope you enjoy this topic. So now let's have a quick look to the agenda. First, we will introduce ourselves briefly, and then we will list some of the key takeaways from the talk. Following that, let us give some information about Siemens Advanta department and our cloud-based project Mysphere. Afterwards, we will speak about Agile testing strategy a bit and QA team's challenges in Mysphere project. And finally, we will present the proposed methods and results out of it. We will share those information. So let's talk a bit about ourselves first. My name is Gaye Sağlam. I have an experience mainly in industrial automation domain, software test management, people and project management, and leadership. Before Siemens, I had been working for the leading research center of Turkey called TÜBİTAK as a senior researcher in the field of industrial automation. I have been in Siemens Turkey R&D Center for 8 years, working as an expert test engineer and group manager. We also call group managers as line manager. My key expertise areas are test management, cloud software test automation, and also programming for PLC and SCADA systems, as I did my PhD in control and automation engineering domain. In addition, I have a great enthusiasm for novel improvement initiatives and research, as I have an academic background as well. In my free time, I like reading about topics of psychology, human behavior, personal development, for example, and testing and leadership, of course. And who is Tolga? And Tolga, the word is yours now.
Thanks, Gaye. Hello, everyone. This is Tolga Aktaş. Let me introduce myself shortly. My previous experiences are mostly related with telecommunication before Siemens. My professional work life started as developer for telecom product of Nortel Networks, then worked as a test engineer for network solutions in GSM world. After that, I took roles in product management side as business analyst and product manager, took an active role in product lifecycle management for owned product in the leader mobile operator in Turkey. Then started to work in Siemens as team leader in system testing first, then product expert responsibilities I took can be assumed as product owner in test teams. I became a test owner after then, had this hat about 3 years. Our talk will be mainly about it. Now working as continuous quality expert in Siemens digital grid world. Gaye, please go on, stage is yours again.
Thank you very much. So now let us summarize the key points that we aim sharing with this talk. Actually, we will mainly explain how to increase the efficiency of the overall test management by introducing test owner role, which facilitates further improvements in all software development lifecycle. Also by TO enablement, our key message here is the needed cultural change in quality mindset, as quality should be lived by everyone in SDLC process, not reached or governed just by some specific groups such as test teams. But first, let us give you some information about our organizational unit, which is known as Advanta Development, and it can be considered as naming for Siemens AG's global R&D centers. So, as Siemens Advanta Global R&D organization, we offer our internal business units and external customers a wide range of software services and IT solutions from which we gain deep domain know-how as years. We utilize this know-how as a strong backbone to support our customers in their digital transformation and software journey. We also deliver solutions that are tailored to customer needs with our 7,500 cross-functional, highly skilled experts. We have 20 locations related to software service offerings. As a nearshore location, Istanbul and Ankara teams are working mainly on software development, cloud computing, system test, analytics, edge computing, industrial communication, and embedded development topics. We have also other locations, as you can see from the table. So Advanta organization is a global organization as well. And as Advanta Development Department in Turkey, we have a total of 800 employees, including part-time working students as well. About 200 digitalization experts are working on various fields such as app development, digital integration, gamification, plant simulation, some topics like that. When we think about also about our IoT and cloud capabilities, we see a variety of topics from cloud security, for example, penetration testing, to edge computing, and from cloud platform development to artificial intelligence applications for those systems. We are also dealing with those topics. And now let's talk about our famous cloud-based open IoT platform project called Mysphere. Mysphere is actually an open cloud platform. We call it Platform as a Service, PaaS, and IoT operating system by Siemens, developed by Siemens for development of IoT applications. It enables customers to develop, run, and manage their applications. Mysphere also delivers open APIs and development tools to our customers without any complexity of building their own infrastructures or managing complex software stacks. Mysphere also collects and analyzes all kinds of real-time sensor data, and this information can then be used to optimize products, production assets, and manufacturing processes overall along the entire value chain. Connectivity software services allows easy integration of all types of assets, protocols, and communication standards to enable customers to access their assets from the system, from our UI, and efficiently extracting the data from their assets. Mysphere also offers a platform for cloud-based computing that serves as the basis for data analytics applications for plants and products within Siemens AG, and also to various external end customers as well. For details, you can always check from this link. Okay. Yes, let's take a look a bit to the architecture of our Mysphere project. Mysphere cloud platform mainly consists of application platform, which includes applications such as starter app or our own Mysphere applications that we develop, and provided services such as Redis, MongoDB. These are common popular services, as we know. Services platform, which we offer as value-adding services to our customers. For example, connectivity services. It's possible to connect any type of devices by configuration of customer assets and relevant data types in Mysphere UI. And MyConnect elements part provide easy collection of customer data via our MyConnect Nano and IoT 2040 hardware and MyConnect software library support. In other words, we can say that existing hardware from customer sites can be easily Mysphere cloud enabled. Another point is application. Third-party application creators, third-party applications can also reach and use our open applications and services platforms as well. In addition, enterprise systems such as ERP and on-premise solutions from customer sites can also be integrated to Mysphere. The whole Mysphere system runs on AWS, Microsoft Azure, and Alibaba Cloud infrastructure, which we call all these infrastructures shortly as A-Cube. So this A-Cube infrastructure can also be provided as a single infrastructure in an automated way by the help of our DevOps engineers, actually. So how did we build our Agile testing strategy in Mysphere? First, let's take a look at how Agile practices are done in Advanta Development Turkey. In our organization, Agile methodology is executed in a classical way, which means there is no separate testing team, generally. Instead, the testers are involved in cross-functional Scrum teams. In such teams, testers are generally integration testers, working closely with developers and other roles such as Scrum Masters and DevOps engineers. But when we come to Mysphere, this classical Agile team setup in Advanta Turkey has been tailored for project needs. We, as global QA teams, generally faced some challenges, both about gathering feature requirements from product management side and also completing all testing activities in the same sprint duration. So for this reason, also they are expecting us to ensure all our Mysphere products work as expected under given operational conditions when sprint ends. So we can say that much like development teams, overall test teams are also expected to produce separate work outputs, such as submission of end-to-end test reports and developing test code, test automation code for all integration features developed by all distributed development teams. So this is a really huge work effort for test teams. For this reason, we can say that our testing mission is really different from integration testers based in cross-functional Scrum teams. That's why, as you can see in the picture, our test teams are structured as standalone and independent test teams, having a test product expert, in short TPE role, which we will explain this later again. Test teams are distributed and separate from the other development teams, we can say. In the picture, we can also see TO role being in contact with several roles, and we will come to that later by Tolga again too. So we needed this team setup because we do end-to-end testing for overall integrated system, and we touch all features of all development teams. And also in the project, we also used classical Agile testing pyramids and adapted test levels according to our testing needs, starting from unit test level to feature integration test level shows developer-oriented tests. These are, as we all know, starting with unit tests, which is basically testing of methods or functionalities. Integration test is basically testing of integrated components. Consumer-driven testing, CDC testing, which means testing of internal service endpoints, which are open only to us. Service integration and feature integration testing means that testing of external service endpoints, which are open to end customers, actually. And when we think about QA-oriented tests, they are planned according to customer point of view, surely, and include mainly end-to-end and NFR tests. Also, development-oriented tests serve as verification approach that requires building the product rights. And as we all know, QA-oriented tests serve as validation approach that requires building the right product. And key points to achieve in Mysphere QA organization can be seen here as listed. First, we test according to customer needs. Second, we plan the tests for customer scenarios, and these tests should even start from the left part of the software development lifecycle. We call it shift left. Third, 100% test automation is mandatory for each test level to increase the test coverage as much as possible. Fourth one is we agree using common tools and methods and processes with development teams. This is really essential for us in order to avoid some higher workloads, let's say. So fifth part is finally, fifth part is as part of, again, shift left approach, QA should be a joint activity between development and QA teams. It shouldn't be just a responsibility for QA teams. Okay, then, yeah, when we talk about shift left, we should also mention this is not an easy thing that can be achieved from night to day. This is really a hard task to apply. Actually, a cultural mindset change is quite necessary, as we saw during this project. As also Peter Drucker said once in his famous quote, culture eats strategy for breakfast. That means, so no matter how good your strategy is, if there is organizational or cultural mindset impediment, we all know that there is no way to apply the strategy. So we started first to synchronize with each team about needed paradigm shifts to break resistances and misunderstandings such as role conflicts or etc. As a result, developers changed their mindsets from building and testing their own stuff to assurance of no other stuff is broken. From tests are only for me to my tests help others to keep my and other stuffs unbroken. And from many labels, we switch to one label. That means not a symptom-based analysis with it, but instead analyzing each parameter's effect on the error, which we call as differential analysis with this. And from the upper management side, they also changed their mindset from adding features is always Prio 1 to solving problems before adding any new feature or any new complexity. And second one is from refactoring for the next release to providing robustness first for the proven architecture. And the last one is they change their mindset from product maturity evolves in time to maintenance of mature products. So these are really critical for us to achieve this transformation by introducing TRO. Let's sum up all that we talked so far. We use shift left approach, which means QA view and end-to-end testing mindset starts at the earlier and the first stage in the software lifecycle. This is achieved by close collaboration with development teams. As an example, by forming joint Scrum teams, joint Scrum rituals and meetings, for example. And quality responsibility is also shared by development teams. We also make use of shift-right approach, which is implemented at the later stage after testing phase. And this is achieved by monitoring of usage trends from production environments, analyzing customer defects in much more details, and so gathering continuous feedback on quality from customer side. This enabled us to revise our test plans accordingly, and as a result, we can say that monitoring brings new opportunities to testing efficiency at this digitalization era. So yeah, thanks for listening so far. From now on, Tolga will take over to describe our challenges that we encountered in QA teams of Mysphere and the applied solution to overcome them. Tolga, now the stage is yours.
Thanks, Gaye. It's me again. Well, let me summarize the roles in Mysphere project shortly, actually, before explaining our challenges. We have product managers responsible for product strategy and global marketing. We have product owners responsible for technical breakdown of work and product log optimization for each local development team. We have also product experts, product owner counterpart in QA organization, and also lead test executions. Of course, others such as Scrum Masters, developers, test automation engineers, test architects, infrastructure engineers, etc., which we don't focus on for this approach. So after proceeding this organizational model, which Guy explained, we started to face some role-based difficulties in QA Scrum teams, especially on test product expert role. I was one of them, actually. For example, time constraint to focus on features with customer perspective, they should have designed creative end-to-end cases to cover all possible scenarios. In order to design new cases for each upcoming feature, strong collaboration, coordination with product owners was required. Since test products expert was focused on internal team stuff mostly, generally requirements couldn't be gathered properly. Robust tests couldn't be designed for the team on time, actually. They should have worked both as test team product owner to define a product backlog and a technical lead to coordinate and drive test automation. And test product experts should have worked on both sides, external as customer and internal as team lead. Moreover, there was no fixed communication channel between product manager and test product expert. No role like product manager was located for QA side. Could be assumed all product manager and product owner responsibilities was on test PE. So these were role-based challenges. Let's have a look overall challenges. In Agile software development world, independent QA teams generally have two main challenges. Synchronization with product management about upcoming feature requests and working with development teams in high collaboration to complete all testing activities at the end of the same sprint. I mean, different backlogs, but same target. Because we are not waterfall, also this verification is defined in our definition of dance. To sum up, too much responsibility and huge effort on test product experts, and test process efficiency gets lower. Let's have a look at what we did to overcome these challenges. Actually, to get over these challenges and to ensure efficient governance of this testing process, a new role called test owner, TO, was introduced. This is not a common Scrum role. This global role was assigned to each software area in product, and the goal was to bridge the gap between product management, development, and QA teams by fostering a better collaboration and increased efficiency, actually. So what are the details of this new assignment? Test owner act as a QA counterpart of product owners and product management in global organization. Works as a test manager for related area and positioned himself or herself as first customer of any developed feature. Ensures a common understanding for the feature or business needs, also designs end-to-end test cases accordingly. Represents the quality assessments from business perspective and is the first degree responsible and accountable for release decisions. Provides alignment and strong collaborations with product managers and product owners to fulfill the defined quality goals and testability of the required features. Tracks and ensures the reporting of QA-related KPIs as part of overall release management reporting by using common test management tools, for example, X-Ray. Acts as an entrepreneur for QA by ownership of end-to-end test scenarios, which mapped to the required features, business cases, or customer solutions. Also targets to reach the maximum test coverage with product expert by applying proper test design techniques or risk-based testing methods, whatever. Works also part of QA teams encourage test automation engineers to assess the product from various points to find corner cases as an initial customer to increase test coverage. Provides close interworking with the QA development teams, fulfilling the defined quality goals. Last but not least, represent the voice of our end customers, actually, focuses on the product and its features from business perspective. I think these colorful rectangles can explain Theo's interactions well. Theo works with both QA and Dev Scrum teams and also have interface with product management, gets upcoming feature information from development teams and product managers, and help test product expert to fulfill team backlog before sprints. As can be seen explicitly, the gap between problem and solution parts was filled. Gray arrows in the below actually explain details for distribution of roles in test organizations. Tests are designed first by test owner, then hand over to test expert, also known as test product expert, to review with test engineers. Test implementation and execution parts are handled by test automation engineers, supported by infra and test architect in case of need. Then reporting is still also in test expert responsibilities, but report is tracked by test owner. As a result, coordination is done between all roles. So let's come to the results and achievements. The global quality assurance view in overall Mysphere, this representation was fulfilled. The role not only generates test cases for new features, but also increases the test coverage and improves the quality. Moreover, this enablement increased the customer orientation much more by facilitating to foresee a customer demand in advance. Theo can also steer the product in market since they positioned themselves as first customer, as I said. Sync improvement occurred between development and test teams to complete all related tasks till the end of same sprint. Workload distribution between test PE and test owner was balanced. Test PE coordinates test implementation, execution, and reporting, as well as task assignment in a technical lead. I mean, internal staff, Theo can put her effort more on increasing knowledge about upcoming features and their details. Actually, that boosts Theo's creativity, helps concentrate on the quality of overall system as a first customer. This approach has already proven by its success by increased efficiency in the test process and increased productivity in test team. The model was applied to system test team in digital industries business units, but also it's quite applicable as a benchmark for other projects in Siemens as well. Not only for Siemens, but also for other companies. If we have separate and centralized quality teams, we will have this gap in this case between product manager, QA, and R&D parts. In this kind of cases, actually, this role can be a really, really lifesaver. So that's all. Any questions? Please feel free to ask anything you want.
Thank you.
Thank you too.
Hello. Thank you for your presentation.
Thank you.
I have a question. During the presentation, I missed a point about what exactly improvements of maybe development time or maybe of your deployment time. What metrics do you use for check your improvements, and maybe you can share some graphics or something like that. What exactly your proposal improves?
Actually, for now, I haven't prepared anything to show as a kind of velocity chart or something like that. But as I said, I was one of the team members, and we can see the efficiency because we had some commitments for product managers. I mean, for marketing parts. For example, we will complete these features, I mean, in two, for example, sprints, okay, something like that. We can give some commitments. But before we were proceeding this model, actually, it was hard to reach this commitment, okay? Because since we had a gap between development and, I mean, test part, and since we have already as a team give a commitment in definition of done, if we want to release anything, it should be tested somehow. And because of this commitment, sometimes we couldn't release some of our features because test teams started to work a little bit late because of some miscommunication problems, because test teams didn't have any idea about domain, I mean the feature details. And at the end of the day, by proceeding this model, we start to actually catch this timeline, okay? I think I can say yes. We catch the timeline and we can complete our commitments, our features on time after proceeding this model.
And one more addition, Tolga, for this. Actually, as I mentioned at the earlier slides, we put testing at the earlier stage of software development lifecycle. And this enabled us a huge advantage of shortening the test automation code development time for QA teams as well. So I have some KPIs, but not in graphical case right now. I don't have it with me right now. But as managers, we always track the improvements in terms of development time, deployment time, and also the release time, from development to release time. When we measure these kinds of KPIs, we really saw the advantage of this model. Because as Tolga already mentioned, Theo provided a great bridge between product management, development, and QA teams. So we strongly needed this kind of a guy to ease the communication between teams. Otherwise, for this global and big size project like Mysphere, some kinds of project like that really face these challenges in terms of communication. So these challenges occurs as a result in terms of longer development times, longer release times, and longer time to market. So Theo role really eases these kind of challenges, let's say like that.
Yeah.
Thanks for your presentation, and really sorry for my question. Actually, what I have seen now that you invented new role, TO, and this guy should implement all the stuff needed to be implemented by quality assurance manager in Agile projects. So nothing new. And where the quality assurance manager at all? I haven't seen anyone with this role on your slides.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so you're asking the differences between QA manager and TO, as I understand. Okay, I can answer this. In our organization, QA manager is me, is handled by me. Actually, my responsibilities are coordinating people, more like people management, all of the overall test management, test team management, you can think like that. But TO is really focused on test management side. So group management or team management is a more administrative stuff. We also are experts. We are also experts as QA manager in QA domain, of course, because I also did the test engineer background as well. But Theo is more like a communication guy. Also is responsible for test management, overall test management process in the test team, responsible for KPIs, tracking KPIs, and we always define KPIs together with Theos as QA managers. So this is a team stuff, you know. So not all responsibility is on me or Tolga. We are all a team. especially including PE, test PE as well, before test PE role was introduced. Our test PE was at first like POs of development teams. We can think like that. But as we mentioned, we really had some burden on test PEs because all stuff was expected from test PE, coordinating with product management, coordinating with development teams, something like that. So to enable efficient coordination for that, we introduced TO role, but QA managers are still QA managers. We are coordinating all stuff related to team. Also, we are contacts for external, for our global stakeholders, for our end customers. I'm always in contact with them. I always get their requirements, their testing requirements from them, and also put to the team. And we are planning sprints, we as a whole team, and we are planning the priorities of QA tasks and overall project task. I can summarize the responsibilities and roles shortly like that. And maybe Tolga, you will want to add something to it.
Yeah, maybe one more thing. Actually, as test owners, we were touching the products, and we have domain know-how, and we are working with teams closer, okay? And domain know-how, and I mean some test execution responsibilities we need to have. But on the other hand, QA management sides, at least in our organization, they were mostly responsible for, I mean, resource planning and budget stuff, this kind of issues, just monitoring overall product from above. In Mysphere, we have 10 different, I think, building software, I mean, building blocks, and not easy to touch every products in both two sides. I mean, planning, budgeting, and also resource stuff, and plus executing, I mean, and designing test cases with collaboration with other stakeholders. In these these actually two separate people, two separate roles.
Mm-hmm. And also QA managers are responsible for driving test strategy. For example, I am in contact with I'm in contact with our Mysphere global QA managers in Germany or in other locations, as I showed. We are all synced together as QA managers and drive the overall test strategy for all Mysphere products. Mysphere QA teams, let's say. So Budapest QA team is applying the same strategy, or QA team in Turkey is applying the same strategy. So one umbrella, and under that, based on locations, the same strategy is applied. For example, risk-based strategy or non-functional testing, something like that. We hope that we could explain this clearly.
Yes, they are also responsible for some regulative stuff, actually. ISO 9001, this kind of regulation stuff, we are doing this. They are doing kind of supporting us, actually, kind of for audits and
Здравствуйте, большое спасибо за доклад. Я хотел спросить, вы упомянули, что тест-оунер выступает в роли первого клиента. В связи с чем хочу спросить, каким образом производится сбор и анализ данных о опыте последующих клиентов, реальных клиентов, каким образом эта ответственность распределяется между членами команды и какую роль в этом процессе занимает тест-оунер?
Hey guys, let me try to translate this. So you said that a test owner is presented as the first client. Could you please repeat the second part of your question?
First customer.
First customer. And
the question was about what about the second and third customers? How did you organize the process of gathering from them the user experience, and what is the role of test owner in this process, or maybe some different process of gathering real customer experience?
Okay, let me start, Tolga, and you can add this.
Actually, okay, you can start, Guy.
Yeah, okay. Please add afterwards. I can say that TO is first customer in terms of internally, because our we have internal test team and we have external customers before release. So we want TOs to test first as a representative for external customers, because he has domain know-how, he has business perspective, he can look from upper side by customer point of view, because he knows the system. He should know the system as a competence. So we expect TOs to look from upwards as a first customer, as independent from test team. He should look from a business perspective. After TO says, okay, we can release this product, we tested this product efficiently and enough, in an enough stage, because TO always participates in release meetings as well, with development teams, POs, with product management, and TO from as a representative from QA team, like we can say. TO also join, and when TO says we can release this product, then testing is finalized, release process is start, then we switch this to our real customers. And also product management side collects customer defects, customer real life defects, and they are sending us those defects. So we are analyzing in a second phase those customer defects, and for the second and upcoming release, we are also planning additional tests for customer defects. So there is two different ways in terms of customer. One is TO as a first customer, as our internal team member, and the second path is on product management side, and they are really analyzing real customer defects. And Tolga, would you like to add something?
Yes, maybe. Actually, we were not first customers. This was just an assumption. Actually, as TO, we were locating ourselves as a first customer. What's the meaning of that? Actually, when any product, any feature came to release, I was checking the details as a customer, and sometimes I could drive the product. Maybe, yes, in the list, actually in the product list, product story list, there is nothing, for example, for some cosmetic fields, okay, some maybe UI details. But I was locating myself as a customer, and I was checking, and I had given so many different suggestions and small feature requests, small offers to development teams. Please change it. Please change it, because, for example, this was not user-friendly. This was not good for us as a customer. Actually, I was changing my hat from a development part to customer side. And I see, yes, we all see the benefit of that, because in this case, customer defect counts went down, because I don't want to release anything just reading some documents, some maybe checking points. Yes, maybe our test colleagues were handling this stuff somehow, but maybe at the end of everything, I was checking from maybe, let's say, different layer. Not in product, not in company layer, a different layer as the customer had. And I saw lots of benefit of this, I mean, let's say, perspective, let's say.
Thank you, Gaia. Thank you, Tolga. I think we have run out of time to wrap it up here. So,
yeah.
Thank you. It was great.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. And in the future, if you have any questions, any additional questions, please do not hesitate to contact us from those contact information.
Thank you for everyone. Again.